This is a brief introduction to the use of the wiztrig trigonometry editor. You can obtain the program at dartworks.com/editor/wiztrig.html. When you open it in the browser, you'll see a line of buttons and icons at the top. These are the tools you use to create mathematical expressions. The expressions are created in this work area here. This is where you do all the work. And this area has got the same proportions as a sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. That means whatever mathematics you put in here will be printed out on one sheet of paper. This is the work area, and over here is a projection of that work area. This is an inert area that's like just an image of what you're doing. So you can't work over here, you can only work on this side. I'll explain what this does in a few minutes. Let's build a math expression so we can show you the tools. To begin with, you click the mouse anyplace. It makes a little red dot, and then you can start to type, like for example sine of A plus the cosine of A. You can write an expression. If you want the expression to be a larger font size, on your keyboard there's an up arrow. You hit the up arrow, it'll make it larger. If you hit the down arrow, it'll make it smaller. So you can change the size of it, and you can also grab a hold of it and move it around. You can move this as an object, just grab it with the mouse after you type it. And that's the reason why you're able to create expressions that normal word processors can't really create, because you have this two-dimensional ability. Supposing I want to take the square root of this expression. I click on square root, I drag across the thing and let go. Whatever shape I drag in that little red rectangle, you will get a radical sign to the same shape. You can use the same kind of technique for making parentheses. You click on parentheses, any size you want, just drag and it'll make a parentheses. Brackets, the same thing. You grab the black brackets and make the same thing. And braces, you can make the same thing. So you can see you can use these tools just by simply grabbing them and clicking and dragging, and it creates the size that you need. As I said, you can grab a hold of this and drag it around. Equally well, you can grab a hold of these other items. I can grab a hold of this radical sign and move it around. I can grab a hold of these braces and brackets. I can drag them around also. So it helps you reconstruct whatever you want mathematically. Supposing I wanted to duplicate this item right here. Let's bring it down here. Suppose I want to duplicate it. What I do is I hold down the Alt key. That's the key right next to the space bar. And then you grab a hold of it and drag it. It leaves a copy behind. So in other words, normally you just grab it and drag it. But if you hold the Alt key when you do it, when I grab it and drag it, it leaves a copy behind. So that's how it's done. Supposing I want to move a whole expression. I want to move that entire expression. What I can do is I click on drag block and I select the whole expression, and then I can move it all. Everything moves. That's kind of handy for arranging your page, putting things in different corners and so forth. Okay? So for example, I can grab these two guys right here by clicking on drag block and selecting them like that, and then when I drag, they both come with me. I'm going to bring them to the rubbish to get them out of the way. Another thing that we might want to do is we might want to duplicate this expression right here. To duplicate the expression, we click on drag block and we select it, and then we move it. That's how we would move it. To duplicate it, you click on drag block and then you hold the Alt key down when you select it. I've been holding the Alt key down, and so everything's selected. So now when I drag, it duplicates. It makes a duplicate. I'm going to bring this to the trash. And the way you do it is you drag block, select it, and now I can drag this to the trash, or I can just click on rubbish math and it disappears. Okay? The next thing is we have the ability to draw circles. Click on circle, press down and drag, and it makes a circle. It gives you the center point, which is very handy when you're doing trigonometry. We can make lines. You click on line. You can make a line in any direction. You just click it down and let go, and it'll make a line for you. Okay? If you want to make an absolutely horizontal line, you click on line and you hold the Alt key down while you're dragging sideways. Hold the Alt, drag, and it makes a perfectly horizontal line. Similarly, if you want to make a vertical line, you click on the line, and what you do is you hold down the Alt key and drag upward or downward, and it'll make a perfectly line perpendicular to the horizontal. Let me make another line here while we're at it. I'm going to make another third line here. This is a right triangle because this is a horizontal line and that's a vertical line. Supposing I want to put some arcs in here. You click on arc, you click on the vertex, then you click on either line and click on the other one, and it makes an arc. Do it one more time. You grab the arc by clicking on it, you go to a vertex, click on the vertex, I get it in here, then you click on one line and then the other line, and it draws an arc for you. Okay? It's also possible to draw sines and cosines. Let me again make a little graph area. I hold the Alt key down, I grab a line, I hold the Alt key down, go sideways. Supposing I want to draw a sine curve on here. I click on sine curve. When I click on it, it stays red. It'll stay red until I turn it off. Now I go down and I click and drag, and it makes a sine curve wherever I want it. So I can move that sine curve by taking that left button right there, that left point, and just drag it around and move the entire sine curve. I can change the amplitude of the sine curve by grabbing this point right here, the second one, and that'll increase or decrease the amplitude. And this third one changes the period. I can move the curve back and forth, make it bigger or smaller. Okay? So therefore you have control over where it is and the shape it's in. Click this off. Let's do a cosine. If I click on the cosine, I can do the same thing. I just simply drag and let go, and it draws a cosine curve. Again, the first button here moves the thing. The second one controls its amplitude, and the third one controls its period. Okay? Supposing you wanted to draw, I'm going to click this off, supposing you wanted to draw a sine curve upside down, inverted. What you do is you click on the sine curve, and this time instead of dragging diagonally downward, you drag diagonally upward, and it makes the curve upside down. It's also true of the cosine. If I turn the cosine, if I drag upward when I make it, it makes it upside down. So you see you can draw the curve upside down or right side up depending on what you want. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. Once you've created these expressions, you might want to use some of these characters here which are not on the keyboard. The way to do that is, let's say we want to write the tangent of the identity for the tangent of theta over 2. So to begin with, I'll click here and I'll say tangent of, and now I have to write the theta. How do I get the theta? There's two ways to do it. One is I can just click on this icon here and theta appears where I want it. An alternative, I'm going to backspace. An alternative is, these are the number keys on your keyboard. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. This is 6. If I hold the Alt key down while I'm typing, if I hold the Alt key down and hit the number 6, theta comes in. So there you have it. You can actually do it that way as well. So you have a keyboard approach and you have the icon approach, whichever one you're the most dexterous at. I got this far. Now what I want to do is I have to draw a square root sign, like so. I have to say 1 minus the cosine, cosine of theta. Oops, no, not indeed, theta. And I have to put a line, a horizontal line here, so I hold the Alt gun and make that. Then I go 1 plus the cosine of theta. And there it is. This is the way that you create symbols that are not on the keyboard. That's the power. You can create powers just as well. Let me down the bottom here. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm clicking right here. Let me show you what it looks like. I'll say sine squared of theta plus cosine squared of theta equals 1. So you can say sine squared. What I did is I hit the Alt 2 key right there, the Alt 2 key. Alt 6 gives me theta plus cosine, again Alt 2 key and Alt 6 key equals 1. So you see you can actually write the powers in, the second and third powers in. And there you have it. That's how you create the mathematics. And I think I've shown you just about everything there is. So next thing I want to do is show you how to save it. To save it so that you can recover it later, you click on Save, and it automatically saves it, giving it the name wizwork. Okay, and every time you save it, it'll give it wizwork 1, wizwork 2, wizwork 3. It automatically assigns a number. It always saves in your downloads directory. That's because this is an online program. Let's suppose I just saved it. Let's bring it back again. So what I do is I say OK, or refresh the screen. This is like we were never here. Tomorrow we come in, we click Choose File, step number 1. We go to the downloads directory and find the name of the file, and it's file 23. That's the one I just saved, 23. And I say open. But notice it doesn't come up. That's because you have to actually click on the load selected file button. That's security, because otherwise people would be able to run files from your computer remotely. So we click on this load selected file, and up it comes, and there it is, it's back. Now I might want to print it out on the screen. So then you go to the work area, out of the work area into the screen print area. You right click the mouse and go to open image in new tab. You can do any of these other things, but it'll print the whole page, which you don't want. Go to open image in new tab, and you have to work in the browser Chrome. So then we go up here and click on the new tab, and there it is. If I right click on this page and say print, it'll go to my print routine and will actually print it out. Okay, that's one possibility. I can right click on this and say copy image. It'll put it on the clipboard. I can right click on this and say save image, and it will save it as a PNG, which is just a graphics file. It'll save it anywhere I want in the computer. Okay, so there you have it. That's how you actually save and manipulate the image. Now this is different than, I'm going to close this window. This is different than the save button, which actually saves this so you can dynamically bring it back and reuse it. And that's about it. There's not much else to show you, and I think the rest of it is kind of intuitive. So if you see anything that you like about it, don't like about it, would like to change, think there should be something additional, let me know. And if you find any bugs, please let me know. My address is jjdart@alaska.edu. Yeah, thank you very much.